Loot Crate goes bankrupt, and more coming up on today's episode of the latest in tech news. Hey, Gadget here. You're just in time for the latest episode of the world's only 3-in-1 show on tech, gadgets, and gaming news. That's right, this is the latest in tech news. My name is Taylor Merrick, and if you're new here, hit that follow button right now so that you don't miss out on the latest show. We do this on the daily, so we would hate for you to miss out on everything that we have going on here. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, be sure to give us a like and a comment down below with your thoughts on today's episode. And if you're following us via the podcast, let us know your thoughts on Twitter. And, what's to like or not like, it depends on how you take it. Our feature story today is Loot Crate filing for bankruptcy, but it's still promising to ship the missing boxes. And we'll be getting into that in just a couple of minutes, followed by YouTube testing bigger thumbnails, and apparently people don't like it. It seems like YouTube, you fix something. Don't fix what's not broken. Also, we'll be taking a look at Bill Nye saying that people are afraid to switch to Chromebooks in a new ad, and I gotta say, I enjoy this ad. Personal opinions aside, I think this was a well-cut ad. I haven't seen an ad like this in a while, so we'll be getting a look at that. Also, we'll be taking a look at Snap's 3rd-gen spectacles. Well, according to at least Gizmodo, are ugly and expensive, but the author, not Gizmodo entirely itself. Although kind of confusing, is it not? Also, we'll be taking a look at the crowdfunded phone of the future was a multi-million-dollar scam, followed by a PC building simulator. So you might want to take a look at that. Followed by, finally, hundreds of players trying to cheat at Apex Legends and Counter-Strike get their private data stolen. And, this show wouldn't be complete without our lineup of today in tech history, so let's hop right on over. Alright, today is August 13th, 2019. On this day in history, in 1993, Capcom releases Street Fighter II Turbo Hyper Fighting for the Super NES in the US. The Street Fighter II arcade game started the fighting game boom of the 1990s, which spawned off many other fighting game franchises such as Mortal Kombat and Virtua Fighter. The Super NES version brought Street Fighter II into the home and college dorms, where certain people spent many hours smacking down their dorm mates. So, that's Street Fighter II Turbo for you. Also, on this day in history, in 1973, the ICCP was founded. The Institute for Certification of Computing Professionals was founded. The bearer of the standards for the computing industry, ICCP promoted high professional standards for the computer industry and offered certification program in which engineers earned the designations of Certified Computing Professional or Associate Computing Professional. Now, as for whether you can still get them today, I'm not sure. I believe you probably still could, but remains to be seen if you actually want that, or if you are like, well, this is too old-fashioned. I'm more into like the digital age. Like, computers are one thing, but this is like the digital age, like AI and stuff, smart computing. That's where it's at. I don't know. With that out of the way, let's head on over to today's feature story. And speaking of feature stories, well, Loot Crate files for bankruptcy and lays off its workers, but promises to ship the remaining boxes. Now, I don't know about you, but back in the day, Loot Crate used to be the go-to company for monthly shipments of geek and gamer gear, but now it looks like its stock has run dry. The company is filing for bankruptcy and has laid off dozens of employees. On top of the 150 warehouse workers who were let go last month, Loot Crate plans to ship all remaining boxes to customers, but given how behind it already is, you kind of wonder, are you going to be able to keep that promise? In a press release released late last night, Loot Crate announced plans to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Reports of financial troubles have been circulating for a while, including defaulting on a $21 million loan in 2017, even though Loot Crate has about 250,000 subscribers. So you're like, well, how are you losing money? Now, the plan is to try and sell the company with one of its investors, Money Chest, who will sell the initial auction, or set the initial auction bid, rather, funneling a $10 million bankruptcy loan to keep operations afloat in the interim. The bankruptcy filing and overall financial woes have devastated the company's workforce. Last month, Loot Crate closed its warehouse and laid off 150 workers, announcing plans to outsource outsourced to a third-party logistics company. An additional 50 employees were laid off last week, leaving the company with just 60 full-time workers. Reports have since surfaced on Twitter that employees were let go without any severance or benefits, something that Toys R Us did the same thing for, resulting in a $20 million severance fund for its 30,000 former employees. But co-founder Christopher Davis promised in a press release that Loot Crate subscribers should expect no changes. Daily operations will continue as usual. Unique and exciting fan items will be purchased, crates will be shipped, and all aspects of the business will go on as before the Chapter 11 filing. Our employees will continue to be paid as usual during this transaction, he said. And seeing it's a pretty hard sell, as it hasn't been business as usual at Loot Crate. According to bankruptcy filing, the company has been withholding customer billing and still owes at least $20 million worth of shipments to customers. Some subscribers report not having received subscription boxes in the past 3 months. Apparently, IO9 deputy editor Jill Pantozzi, who receives a courtesy subscription for media, says the last shipment that arrived was the May Nemesis box. There have also been complaints of repeat items, lack of interesting exclusives, and boxes filled with disappointing goods. So, all this to say, I don't know. What's going on with Loot Crate? It used to be the go-to place. It used to be, you see it plastered everywhere. What is going on? There's some untold story going on here, and this is all that we know publicly so far. I'm actually wondering if there's some other journalists digging into what exactly is going on. I guarantee if you can get a hold of some of the employees, they'll probably tell you exactly what's going on, which then begs the question, is upper management listening to the concerns going on to try and rectify the problem here before, can't get any worse than bankruptcy. You just spiraled out of control with that. So, what do you think? Do you have a subscription to Loot Crate? Have you received your Loot Crate boxes? I haven't. Because I haven't been a subscriber for at least a couple of years now, but back when I was a subscriber and I got a couple items, I was like, this is cool, this is kind of fun, but is this really, I don't know, some of these knickknacks I didn't really particularly like. I mean, some genres that they were shipping out I wasn't really interested in, but that was just my own personal opinion. But that's the Loot Crate news of today. Hopefully you guys will finally be able to get your Loot Crate boxes that you're still missing out on, and things can go back to normal. Loot Crate can figure out what in the world is going on, and hopefully everything will be right with the world. Moving on. All right, so in another stream of consciousness, YouTube decided to test bigger thumbnails, and apparently, according to test results, people hated it. To which I harken back to the phrase that I said at the beginning of the show: if you don't like it, or if it's not broken, don't fix it. YouTube, what are you doing? So apparently YouTube is experimenting with making video thumbnails much larger on its homepage, according to several screenshots that appeared on Reddit and Twitter this morning. The new homepage design seen in the images that we have here changes quite a bit about the current setup. Videos are no longer grouped by categories. Fewer videos appear in a line for people to scroll through, and yes, the thumbnails are noticeably larger. Now, it's unclear just how many people have been served the new layout. We weren't able to get the design to appear themselves, according to The Verge here, so it's likely a limited test for now. A YouTube spokesperson told The Verge, however, that the company is currently testing a new homepage layout to improve the watch experience for users. What watch experience needs to be improved? So far, it's not going over well with the users. Some people are complaining that the bigger thumbnails make the homepage more difficult to scroll through. Others have called it disorganized and disorienting. I'm gonna have to scroll. Here we go on Twitter. We're looking at some images right now. And in case you're wondering, yes, we do this as a live show over on mixer.com/TechNewsGadget and as a YouTube video over on youtube.com/TechNewsGadget. This is just a PSA announcement for those of you who listen via the podcast in over 80 countries around the world. Just in case you want to see the actual video and images that go along with the show, you have those options now available to you. Now, some creators on a popular YouTube subreddit have suggested it's a mobile-inspired design. YouTube's mobile app uses bigger thumbnails to make images more visible, which is similar to what's happening on the redesign. The issue, according to one creator, is that on the desktop, it just makes it look cluttered, which begs the question, if there was something that needed to be done via the mobile, why can't it just be done via the app? Hello? There is a possibility that YouTube's redesign is an effort to be more accessible, or that YouTube is testing it to gauge reactions before iterating or issuing a wider rollout. But seeing as how things are, not really great so far. What do you guys think? Do you like the bigger thumbnail images on YouTube? Let me know down in the comments below, or if you're watching the show live, let me know there as well. I'm looking and reading at the chat, so my thoughts, I think I summed up my thoughts on this so far. It seems kind of dumb. I mean, unless you could figure out a way to nicely pull it off that makes it not look ugly, disorienting, weird, go for it. By all means, go for it. But until then, let's head on over to the next story. Speaking of next stories, did you know Bill Nye did an ad for the Chromebook? Yeah, this is a news article that's been a couple of days in the works, and I swear there's something in my eye. Am I gonna die? Did I get it poked out? I don't know. You guys are probably like... I'm so glad for those of you who watch via video know what's going on, because us podcast listeners would be absolutely lost. But yeah, apparently Bill Nye is breaking down the science of fears while trying to convince you to buy a Chromebook. Now, my own personal opinions aside, I really like how well this ad was cut. It's actually pretty funny, and I love how it harkens back to the whole Mac versus PC argument that's going on, except it's different. It's not, you know, Chromebook taking on the computer industry and MacBooks and everything. No, the Chromebook is literally just targeting Windows, which is hilarious. A new ad comparing Chromebooks to Windows laptops features Bill Nye, the science guy, breaking down the science of fear. The commercial claims that users are afraid to switch away from Windows machines and tries to convince people to overcome their fears. And it also makes claims about Windows laptops, stating that they are slow to boot up, which is true. It also implies that Windows devices are more prone to viruses by pointing out that Chromebooks have built-in virus protection. Newbie, thanks for the host. I appreciate it. It's not rare for companies to make ads specifically comparing a product to a competitor's device. This Chromebook ad never specifically mentions Windows, but it's clearly referring to it. The license plate of Nye's busted-up car that's slow to start and prone to freezing is Windows. Oh no, I'm getting raided. Hey, Blanky Boy and Newbie and I Like Bacon and Josh. Nice, I'm getting raided, guys. This is incredible. Everybody's joining in. It's, this commercial, I Like Bacon, thanks for the follow. And Josh as well, thank you for the follow. But with this ad, we won't be playing the video. If you want to watch the video along with everything else going on, in terms of articles covered today, head on over to TechNewsGadget.net. But this ad has some questionable points, however. Nye states in a commercial that one, while pointing to the Chromebook, has built-in virus protection. The other, pointing to the Windows laptop, should be quarantined. Windows laptops, you see, come with Windows Defender, which recently received a perfect score in all 3 categories in an AV test. It's also worth questioning if people are afraid of switching or just prefer to use what they're using already. Newbie, you're getting off. Have a good one. And yeah, we'll be here chatting about the latest news. So that link will be in the show notes for today. Let's head on over to the next article. All right, Snapchat came out with its 3rd iteration of glasses, and it just seems like Snap just can't give up its obsession with techie camera glasses. That's because after losing a buttload of money trying and failing to sell its first one, later following up with a second model to little fanfare, today Snap announced Spectacles 3, which are somehow uglier than ever and come with a serious price tag. This is at least according to the opinion of the writer at Gizmodo. Now, sporting a weird blend and a hipster chic mixed with unprovoked nerd culture, their 3rd spectacles are certainly unique looking, we'll say that. And by adding a second built-in camera to its glasses, Snap is doubling down on the Spectacles' recording features that let users capture new 3D snaps that can be customized with gimmicky AR stickers and effects. Snap says that the cameras on each side of its 3rd-gen spectacles can record HD video at 60 FPS, which can then be transferred to your phone via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi for further editing before being uploaded to Snapchat. The spectacle's dual cameras make it possible to record 3D stereoscopic footage featuring a subtle depth effect, so you kind of like that, while quad mics on the spectacles capture what Snap claims is significantly better audio. Now, the new spectacle photo shoots come in at around 1642 square, while videos are recorded at 1216 by 1216. Glasses come with 4 gigs of onboard storage and feature a battery that can capture 70 10-second clips or up to 200 photos on a single charge. If you want the full 3D experience, Snap is also including a set of cardboard goggles that work with your phone screen so that you can experience your footage in full 3D. So, in terms of colors, it will be available in 2 carbon black and rose gold-like hue called Mineral. And just like previous models, Spectacles 3 come with an included charging case that holds 4 charges worth of juice, along with a full-grain leather exterior for a slightly more luxurious feel. And here they are. Looks like some weird futuristic... I swear I've seen these glasses before. I swear. It's like in like some James Bond movie or something. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments or on the chat what you guys think. However, unlike the Spectacles 2, the 3rd gen glasses aren't water resistant, and as for price, it is $380 US. This pushes the 3rd gen, I can't talk, can you tell I'm tired, glasses out of the stupid fun category and transforms it into something that's a serious and possibly stupid investment. But, at least according to Gizmodo, I don't know, I'm kind of interested. I mean, if it can do its job well, I don't see why not. It just looks a bit bulky, but yeah. If you're a hardcore Snapchat addict and are looking for more ways to spice up your feed, you can pre-order the Spectacles 3 now before they officially go on sale sometime later this fall. More gadget news. For those of you interested, in 2014, Jeffrey Chilash opened an email from Indiegogo and saw the future of computing. The email showed something called the Dragonfly Future Phone, a kind of computer phone hybrid. Now, it showed a sleek, palm-sized touchscreen that slotted into a laptop dock, then folded flat and flipped open again, revealing a second screen and a full-sized laptop keyboard. It could run both Windows and Android, and its creator, a startup called Ideal Future, promised to replace your phone, laptop, and tablet at an incredible price of $800 down. Dubious but intrigued, I guess this individual put down a $200 deposit. 5 years later, he still wouldn't have it. Instead, he'd be sitting in an Illinois courthouse testifying at the behest of the FBI, which claimed that the device was the last step in a decade-long fraud operation that cost victims nearly $6 million. I always thought it was ambitious, he said. Didn't occur to me that the guy had just taken the money. Apparently this Indiegogo campaign wasn't real. And Indiegogo wasn't set up to deal with it. Here's the image of the Dragonfly Future Phone fully unfolded. Looks definitely ahead of its time. Definitely impressive, but according to the crowdfunding campaign, it was a convertible dual-screen notebook meant to dramatically simplify computing. Its slingshot section was a 7-inch Android phone with a stylus, but that was only one part of the device. That phone plugged into a split-hinged keyboard base, which was also equipped with a slide-out touchpad, a second 7-inch display, a dockable Bluetooth headset, and a separate battery and processor. So it was pretty impressive, and it was modular. You could use both pieces separately, or you could plug the phone into the base and get a dual display laptop that looked like 2 tiny netbooks. Now, the combined effect was simultaneously cute and futuristic, especially with an eye-catching clip-on cover. Batio, in a quote attributed to himself on the Indiegogo page, declared it as nothing less than a mobile metamorphosis. So the renderings were amazing. It was incredible. But the article then goes on to explain what happened with this crowd-funded gadget, all the drama that happened, and the FBI investigation, the scam that it turned out to be. And it goes on. Can you see? I'm scrolling right now. It goes on and on and on and on. So if you guys are interested in reading more about this scam, I will have a link to this in the show notes. But man, what a way to go. I mean, you come out with something like, yeah, this looks great, like a gadget. And then Indiegogo's like, yeah, we'll list it. And then it goes, oh, shoot, maybe we shouldn't have. And then everybody's like, woohoo, I made a bunch of money. And now it's like, wait, FBI? Hello? We want to speak with you regarding the donation you made. And you're like, wait, what's going on? Well, it turns out the phone was a fake. Who knew? Who knew? All right. Well, PC Building Simulator is now available. It sounds exactly what it does. It's a no-strings-attached way to build the gaming PC of your wildest, most expensive dreams. Ironically, after launching on PC and Steam Early Access, it is now available on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, so presumably console players can see what they're missing out on. Now, what's missing out is one of the most tedious, terrifying, and satisfying processes known to man. Designing a PC and picking up parts is textbook window shopping, but actually assembling the thing is like herding cats while assembling a Lego model with your free hand. There are a million things that can go wrong, and inevitably 2 million things will go wrong. Or, just as worryingly, everything will work out swimmingly, leaving you to wonder, what's secretly gone wrong? Like, did I break it? Did I do something wrong? Now, your new build won't post. Your radiator's too big for your case. The fans are the wrong size. One of the motherboard offsets is crooked. CPU fan plug is out of the reach of your cooler's cable, and you can't really be asked to go back into the hardware store you just left to buy an extension. So, yeah, that's PC gaming for you. But on all seriousness, though, PC Building Simulator is a handy little tool for prototyping and visualizing PC builds thanks to its remarkably authentic parts and settings. And as an introduction to the trials and tribulations of building a PC, it's probably more helpful on consoles where users will have more questions about the process. Now, according to the author here, who has built a few PCs, not me, the person who wrote this article, they would legitimately recommend PC Building Simulator to prospective PC gamers so that they can mess around with various components to get a feel for what they like, what's available, and how it fits together. It's a lot more fun than scouring Newegg, I can tell you that much. The newly released console edition of the game also launched alongside some new features, including custom water cooling loops, which are a pain in the butt to build, customizable cables, which are interestingly enough to thread, and CPU overclocking, which is, well, take it as it will with a grain of salt. The joys of PC gaming. Or you could just buy one pre-built. You do that. Why is this playing? Okay. I have ads playing on the screen. I don't know what's going on. And seriously, if I see one more ad, I'm going to snap it in half and throw it across the screen. We have one more article to go, guys. One more. Oh, and I know you just saw the transition there. I'm doing this all myself. All the buttons, everything that goes on, it's all me. So finally, in the gaming news, hundreds of players trying to cheat at Apex Legends and Counter-Strike get the best karma of all time. They got their private data stolen. And I wonder how they did it. Since February, a number of ne'er-do-well Counter-Strike and Apex Legends players hoping to download cheats have in fact been infecting their computers with credential-stealing software security firm Sophos has discovered. First-person shooter fans hoping to get an edge over their opponents had their personal and financial information siphoned off and sold for months. According to a report published last week, the malware, named Balder by its creator, efficiently extracted sensitive data from infected users, namely credit card information, login credentials for services like Amazon and PayPal, credentials for Battle.net, Steam and Epic Games, or identity information. Its job, Sophos says, was to scrape and steal any credentials, cookies, or cache data of resellable value in a matter of seconds. Balder was buried inside a bunch of cheats with names like CSGO aimbot.wallhack and Apex Legends new cheat 0.2.1. Now, once they had acquired the data, Balder operators could sell it on dark web marketplaces. What caught our eye was Balder's ability to quickly steal identities and seamlessly exfiltrate victims' credentials. Balder was incredibly effective at bursting in, grabbing everything, and rushing out again. It was an impeccably quick line of code. Now, I guess Zizkovics, the threat researcher who did the work here, says he's been tracking 500 to 600 instances of the malware internationally, with the majority of cases located in Indonesia, Brazil, Russia, and the US. Advertisements for the malware-infected cheat software appeared primarily on YouTube in video descriptions advertising the cheats. Its proponents also advertise it in Twitch chats and on Discord servers. The malware's popularity peaked around May, but although it's not getting sold as much on dark web forums, it still continues to wreak havoc. The cybercriminals who bought Balder before it disappeared, they can still use the malware, and they are. So, here is a little tip, a little PSA, as it were, to you gamers looking to get an edge. Try practicing. Try actually practicing with a purpose to get good at the game, like Ninja says, and you won't have to rely on a cheat program to do it for you. You see, it may just be hiding malware that will steal all of your private information and do it in a split second. I'm not joking around, guys. Credit cards, confidential information, Amazon, Epic Games. It's real. So don't feel like you got an edge. You might be the one who wind up getting screwed by it. And please, I feel bad for you if you actually had this happen to you. Hopefully you're able to get everything back together in order. But let this be a reminder to you and a reminder to the rest of us. There's really no point in downloading cheap software programs or anything. It's almost guaranteed to be infected with malware of some kind. And with that, that wraps up this episode of the Latest in Tech News. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll be playing video games right after we finish recording today's show. Now, new episodes come out every weekday. The Latest in Tech News can be found on every major platform, including Apple, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Stitcher, Overcast, and more. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, let us know by clicking that like button and leaving a comment if you're watching a YouTube video. And if you're listening via podcast, go ahead and leave us a review out on Apple Podcasts or wherever else you happen to be listening. Also, double check that you are subscribed so that you don't miss the next episode. I'm your host, Taylor Merrick, and remember, for the latest in tech, gadget, and gaming news, visit TechNewsGadget.net. Pretty much, keep being awesome, guys, and I'll see you on the flip side.